My mother found out I'd already spent $70,000 of her estate while she was still alive, and she didn't find out from me. She found out from my brother, standing at her hospital bedside, holding a printed bank statement. Okay, so, there is context here, and I know that's exactly what someone says when they know they look bad, but just give me a minute. My mom, Diane, is 73. About 3 years ago, she was diagnosed with early stage dementia. Not severe, she still knows who we are, still has full conversations, still laughs at her own jokes. But she can't manage money anymore. She'd been writing checks to random charities, getting scammed by phone calls, the whole thing. So she sat down with a lawyer and made me her financial power of attorney. Her choice, her lawyer, all above board. There are two of us kids, me, Renee, and my younger brother, Caleb. Caleb lives 4 states away. He visits twice a year, maybe. I live 12 minutes from mom. I'm the one who takes her to every appointment, handles her medications, manages her bills, coordinates her home aides. Every single week for 3 years. Mom's estate, mostly her house and savings, is split evenly in her will. 50-50, me and Caleb. That's always been the plan, and I never had a problem with it. I want to be clear about that. I was not bitter about the split. I was not doing what I did out of resentment. At least, that's what I told myself. About 18 months ago, my own life started crumbling a little. My marriage ended. Not dramatically, no affair, no blowout, just two people who'd grown into completely different people. But divorce is expensive, and I have 2 kids, and I needed to move, and everything hit at once. I went to my mom's lawyer, the same one who drew up the POA, and I asked whether I could take an advance against my inheritance. He said it was legal as long as it was documented. Diane had consented while she had capacity, and it was treated as an advancement rather than a gift, meaning my share would be reduced accordingly when the estate settled. I had Diane sign off on it on a good day with the lawyer present. She said, and I remember this exactly, she said, "Renee, you've been here every day. Take what you need." So I did $70,000 over the course of about a year. Moving costs, lawyer fees, a down payment on an apartment, my kids' school fees. It didn't feel reckless. It felt like accessing something that was already mine. Caleb had no idea, I didn't tell him. And honestly, I didn't think I had to. It was my share, it was documented. Mom knew. But then mom had a fall in February, ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks, and something shifted in her. Her cognition dipped. She got confused, anxious. And somehow I still don't fully know how Caleb got access to a summary of her account activity during one of his visits. Maybe he asked her financial advisor directly. Maybe she mentioned something offhand. Either way, he showed up to her room with a printed bank statement and a lot of questions I wasn't there to answer. Mom called me that night. She wasn't angry exactly. She was confused. She said, "Caleb says you took money. Did you take money?" And I said, "Yes, Mom. We did that together, remember?" And she said, "I don't remember that, Renee." That sentence hit me somewhere I wasn't ready for. Caleb called me the next morning, and he was not quiet about it. "You took $70,000 from a woman with dementia," he said. "You used her condition as a cover." I told him it was legal, it was documented, the lawyer was present, she had capacity at the time. He said, "She has dementia, Renee. How do you prove she had capacity on any given Tuesday?" And the thing is, I didn't have a clean answer to that. The lawyer documented it, yes. But Caleb's point was sharper than I wanted to admit. Our mother has a condition that affects memory and judgment. I knew that, and I was the one holding the power of attorney. Was I really getting her genuine consent? Or was I asking a woman who trusted me completely to sign something she didn't fully understand? I believe she understood. I believe she meant it. But I also know that I needed that money, and I went and got it, and I did not once pick up the phone to say, "Hey Caleb, heads up, here's what mom and I are doing." He's now talking to a separate attorney. Not necessarily to sue me, he says, just to understand his options. Mom is caught in the middle, getting more anxious every time it comes up. Her doctor actually asked me to stop discussing it in front of her because it's affecting her sleep. I went back and looked at the documentation. It's solid. My lawyer says I'm protected. But protection and right aren't always the same thing, and I've been sitting with that. Here's what I keep coming back to: I was there. Every week, every appointment, every 2 a.m. call when she was scared. Caleb wasn't. And I never asked to be compensated for that, never once said it out loud, but did I quietly decide I'd compensate myself anyway? Is that what happened? A few weeks later, Mom had one clear, calm morning, and she looked at me and said, "I know I said you could have it. I just wish you'd told your brother." That's all she said. Then she asked if I wanted coffee. So here I am. The paperwork is clean. Mom gave consent. The lawyer signed off. And I spent 3 years showing up for a woman who needed someone to show up every single day while my brother sent flowers on her birthday. But I also took $70,000 from my mother's estate before she died, without telling the only other person who had a stake in it. And I did it during the same window of time she was being declared too impaired to manage her own finances. And I don't fully know how to hold both of those things at once. So honestly, am I the problem here? Honestly, though, what would you have done? Comment below.